finally back. If you're a new viewer, welcome over here. Welcome, of course, if you're a returning viewer. If you're a new viewer and like my contents, please like and subscribe. That will help my channel out a lot. My name is Emilia. I'm coming from Sweden, where I live on a small farm with my husband, our 4 lovely kids, with a lot of chickens, ducks, turkeys, and 6 crazy dogs. This podcast, though, is not about farm life, but I will actually have a brief little farm update in the end of this video about the farm, and also a little bit life update. But the main thing over here is knitting, spinning, crocheting, cross stitch, diamond painting, sewing, whatever I feeling to talk about in the crafty way, sometimes even building, but not today. Today is only about knitting and sad news about spinning. So, should we start? Is the finished object quite obvious? Because it is, of course, my September sweater by PetiteKnit. And if you are a new viewer, you might not realize why I cannot lift up my left arm, because my left upper arm is not functioning, so I need to slide on my sofa to even get it out this way. So this is how it looks. I would try to stand up without push you away. So, and I like this details on the back. I know it's a horrible way to show this one. So, but I love it, and I have been wearing this sweater a lot since I finished it. It has been finished for almost a little bit over a week now, and this is also going to be just a good basic staple piece that I'm gonna reach for, like my halibut sweater. So the two sweater I'm wearing the most right now is this one. I'm actually planning to do another one, but it will not be now because the season is not quite the right season for making another one. But in this fall I'm probably gonna make another one, maybe in September, who knows. So the September sweater by PetiteKnit, knitted in 1 strand of Cardigan from Sandnesgarn and 1 strand in kids silk mohair from Drops in the colorway Mint, and I think Cardigan is in the off-white. Its number, I will link everything down below. So yeah, finished object number 2 then, because I have a second one. Even though I don't have the time to knit, but I'm always knitting on something when I get a few seconds to knit. This is, of course, a Musselburgh hat that I made for my album. I had a little bit left over after I did her beautiful dress that I made her, and oh my goodness, that dress turned out quite much too big, but that's good because it's not summer yet, and she's only 5 and she is growing. Oh, she's growing, so she probably not gonna be able to use it next summer, but she's wearing everything I knit for her so often, so it's gonna be used either way, summer, winter, you name it. So I made her a Musselburgh hat of the leftover. This is the yarn hand-dyed merino sock from Hex Cattle Dye in the colorway Kalas. That means party. Kalas in Swedish is party, and I like the effect of the stripings or pooling. So it reminds me a little bit about the sea and the sunset in the sea. Yeah, and the reason why I did this, even though I knew that it wouldn't be enough to make her a Musselburgh hat with this brim, folded brim, because this is going to be a little bit too small for her. It is because she not like when you have a folded brim. Every store-bought hat she has that have a folded brim, she is just pulling them down. So I thought that would be good. I don't need a folded brim, and it is in, as I said, merino silk, so it's super wash on. It's not so hot. It's perfect for this season when we have 70 up to 20 degrees Celsius on the day now, when the sun is out, and we can have just like 2-3 degrees in the morning. So it's perfect for this season. The next project I'm gonna talk about is not a finished project for this time. It had been finished for a while, but I added buttons to my Maja cardigan. So I chosen to use this button for now. It's a plastic button that my mom had hidden in her house, and asked if you can use them for now. I'm not gonna use this button when I'm finding my perfect button for this. If you watched my last episode, you know that I told everyone I'm gonna use it without buttons if I don't find the right buttons. And I think I need to pause and go and look at on one of my chickens. I will be back. Chickens can scare the crap out of you, because when they are this young, I'm gonna talk about them in the end. When they lay down to sleep, they can just go to sleep in every type of position, and I think they are dead, but they are not. Anyways, so I added this button for now, but I'm still in the lookout for the perfect buttons. I was looking at grandma's, she didn't have any good. Those button I actually did fall in love with was all too big. So yeah. And then we went to the bigger city, and I was in a few stores. It's fairly enough any stores left here anymore that keeps fabric and buttons and yarn and all of that stuff. So those had just plain plastic buttons or wooden buttons. So I have a lot of wooden buttons at home anyway, so I don't need to buy new ones, and I don't want them. I'm thinking about something in like copper or some type of metal. Yeah, I don't know. We should see what it's ending up with. So that's all for the finished objects for this week. But I do have a few whips and also 2 new cast-ons, and probably I'm gonna have more cast-ons really soon, because yeah, who don't want a lot of cast-ons? So work in progress number 1 is a long time lingering whips, because this whip I started last spring, and I have worked on it. Was it this fall? Spring, fall? I cannot remember actually. Sometime last year anyway. And I love to knit on it, but it's only for the process. I'm not so much caring about the finished object in this particular project that I am talking about, but I love to knit on it, so I keep it on back seat a little bit, because it's my comfort knit, if I say so. When I do not feel for anything else, I pick it up. And now I have added the 3rd color on it. So it is the Great Diamond Authority Shawl by Emily O'Brien. And this color is Limo Designs hand-dyed sock yarn, in the colorway She, you create chaos. This goldy-ish color is BFL socks from Legason in the colorway Mustard Yellow. This is also from Nemo Design in the colorway What Happened with Bengan. And also from Nemo Design is the new color Ninja Girl. So I have added that in now and worked for like 6 or 7 centimeters. And yeah, as I said, this is just my comfort knit. It's lace, everything is about diamonds, of course. And when it is finished, it's probably gonna end up in my youngest daughter's wardrobe, and she's gonna wear it till it's not exist anymore. So here is how it will be in the end. Let's see if we get a little bit more light. There you go. It's a beautiful shawl. So that's one that I have been working on a little bit, and it lives in, I always forgetting to talk about this, and I think this is covered with dog hairs right now. No, but spinning fiber in my project bag that I have made, and you can find, I have a few left in my Etsy shop actually. I will link that one down below. It has pockets inside, so you have, I need to stand up, a few pockets inside, and yeah, you have a handle, drawstring. I use them for literally everything because they are a good size, I would say. I can fit a lot of yarn and almost a whole sweater project in it, so yeah, it's a good size. I like them. And I do also do smaller bags for socks because I love to knit socks. So I will just shove this one in again. So a whole shawl, no problem, you can fit so much more in it. Yeah, work in progress number 1. Work in progress number 2 is just a very, very sad story. Last time I was talking about that I have forgot to pick my Irish eye cardigan out from the car. So I picked it in, and then I realized what I have done, because when I took it out to the car, I was on the back piece that I picked up stitches for. It's a project that I'm doing for a make along, knit along that Nikki from Knitting with Cat here on YouTube is hosting, and it's the Irish eye cardigan from Jennifer Beale. Have you knit any of her pattern, you probably know that she are using quite different techniques to do a garment. You are knitting a few pieces and then you're picking up stitches, you are casting off stitches, binding off, and then you are picking up in another direction. It's, if you ask me who likes to knit and like something that is a little bit more advanced, or you need more, I'm using the words, a little bit more interest to it, I highly recommend her patterns. I will not say they are hard, but her instruction is spot on. She is very good to explaining all the things, so for me, I have no question at all what I will do when I will do it. So anyway, I bring it out to the car and thought it would be a good car knitting. I have a sock that I'm working on too, but I was not just feeling it. And also I needed to have more yarn for the socks. So, sorry. I bring it out and I should just work on the back piece because I just needed to knit daisy stitch for a certain amount of inches, and then I thought I'd bring it back in again, because then I need a pattern, because you need to have the pattern outspread, because it's happening so many things at the same time in all type of places. And yeah, said and done. It was a stupid mistake that I made, because I just looked at the pattern and realized now we're gonna knit for, we say 10 inches or something like that. No, not 10 inches, say 7. And then I gonna join it in the round. Do you know what I did wrong? I needed to rip everything back because I was finished. I'm not finished anymore. I need to take all of this out. So I think I'm actually in the same spot that I showed it last time, or maybe even a step back. So this is the daisy stitch. So you start with this little shoulder patch, and then you are picking up for the right front, and you are doing the daisy stitch, and you do some decreases, because this is gonna have a huge collar neckline thingy. I'm gonna pop in a picture, of course, so you can see how it looks. And then you are picking up and connecting the two pieces, shoulder pieces and front pieces, to the back piece, and cast on some stitches, and you keep working on the daisy stitch. Said and done. I did forget to look at the pattern quite closely, and didn't realize at the same time, you know, when it said at the same time, you probably should keep on reading the pattern.
Why? Why? Oh, that's why.
I will make a few increases. Yeah. I was finished with the back piece to join it in the round. I had no increases. So yeah, it was used to rip it all out again and start again. But the funniest thing is it's fun to work on. So, and I knit this one up in first class tweed from Mayflower, and in the color 12, and also in the other color I have, it's called Sand, I think. So that's a thing that is going to be more worked on now, because it's the right season for working on it right now. It's quite cool in the morning and the evenings, but then it's so damn hot in the days. If you are an old viewer or a person that have been with me for a long time, you probably know that winter is my favorite season, and I like the cold, and everything over 2+ degrees Celsius is too warm. So now, right now, we have 17 degrees Celsius outside. Yeah, the spring has arrived. And if you ask me, this is not only spring, it's summer. We had 22 degrees yesterday, and that's in the shadow, not in the sun. Don't ask me what it is in Fahrenheit. So that's it. It's starting to get too warm. But anyways, speaking about warmer weather, I did cast on a new thing. I cast on in this beautiful green yarn from Cascade 220 in their olive heather. You can take the ball bound out, I can tell you. in the color you're not gonna see it. No, it's you. 9448 in Cascade 220. Ta-da! I cast on a slipover, and it's from a Swedish designer, but I bought the English pattern because I am not a fan of Swedish patterns, not the pattern in all over, in the writing of the patterns. So these two, I have a third one that is on the needles. I cast on, as I said, a slipover. The slipover is called Root, and this is the back piece. It's in broken ribbing, and I have picked up for one shoulder and started to shape the neckline, front neckline. So yeah, it's a very fun knit. It's a quick knit. I started this yesterday actually, so it goes knits up pretty fast, and I don't think how much you can see of it, but I love this color. Look at this color though. It's beautiful. And if you think green is my favorite color, you still got it all wrong. I like green, but my favorite color is actually gray. That's my kitchen, it's all gray. But anyway, no, green is one of my favorite colors for sure when it comes to clothing. So yeah, I'm gonna keep work on this. And it's actually the first time I have used Cascade 220, because it's not the easiest thing to get here in Sweden, and if you don't want to spend a lot of money for shipping, you are not that able to find it. But now Limo Design is carrying it, and I was so happy. I knew a few other places, but they didn't have all that colors that she is having, so I'm so happy. I'm so happy. This can probably be one of my favorite yarn if I want something more soft, because many times when I'm knit, the things is ending up in my mom's wardrobe, and she cannot wear Icelandic wool or all of that more rustic wools that I love. Then it stays with me. But this is a slipover. It's something that I'm not using as much, and if I should be honest, I would not even thinking about knitting a slipover if it wasn't for that I find a white beautiful blouse, and I don't wear blouses, but I want to wear that one this Monday that will come now, because I'm going away for something quite important that still is a secret, but I will go in a little bit about some details on it. So I wanted to look a little bit more put together, if I say it that way. And I don't want to wear like these or something, but because then I'm gonna melt, because I'm gonna be inside though. So yeah, a slipover. Then maybe the blouse and the slipover is going to my mom, who knows. My mom is actually wearing everything I'm knitting, seriously everything. She have already been ironing this one, so this will probably end up on her in a very near future, because she is the opposite to me. She is freezing even though it's 20-25 degrees outside. She can literally wear this and be outside in the blistering sun in the summer. So yeah, we are quite different. But anyways, other work in progress. I have cast on another thing. This is a little stomach or a front body piece. This is a back head piece. This is a front head piece, a piece of a front head piece. This is a little nose, and this is an eye patch. Can you guess what it will be? It will be a trash panda, a raccoon. I couldn't resist. I couldn't. I'm too soft for this all stuffy creature that I'm finding. I actually did just. It was a huge mistake that I made. I was actually in for finding a real stuffed, not a real, but a stuffed raccoon that I could bought, a real stuffy. But to my little nephew Enfrid. So I searched on Google and thought, oh, so I can order one because his birthday is the 12th of May. And I wanted a little raccoon for him because his mom and dad is called him for the little raccoon. Why, I don't know. But raccoons are cute. He's cute, so probably that's why. And then the first thing that actually came up in my search was Ellen Dart knitting pattern for a raccoon. So why buy something that I can make for him with a lot of love? Why not? So I purchased the pattern and I browsed through that page, and I shouldn't. So now I have a lot of stuffy toys ID that I want to cast on immediately. He has a beautiful little pig, a cow, a few dogs, you name it. My house is going to be full of stuffies this year, I think. But in the same time, it's good because I have a lot of acrylic wool blends in my stash, my deep stash. It's actually in a box that I have been gifted for a very long time, that just sitting and get no use to it, because a few of them is actually 100% acrylic, and then I have a lot of cotton wools, cotton yarns too. So I thought it's a perfect thing to actually use up for this stuff. I don't like to work with acrylic. I don't like the sound, how it can squeak on needles. So I thought I will make a lot of stuffies with it, and everything that is small leftovers I would try to either give away to some in my near knitting community that's not so many people's, or I will reach out to my old workplace and ask them if they want anything to the school. Like we have these play groups after school. It's actually something that's called fritids over here in Sweden. So when they go to school and their days is ending before the parents' work days, they go to like an aftercare thingy where they are playing with their friends. They are doing a lot of craft things. It's a very good thing to have for the kids, I think, because you are learning them so much things in school that they need to know about history, maths, Swedish, English, all of that crazy stuff. but not crazy stuff, but all of that stuff. But you don't teach them to be a good friend. You don't teach them how to play, how to do certain crafts. We do actually have here in Sweden, in the school, both textile craft and also woodcraft that are in the teaching program for all of our kids between the age, I should know this, between the age of 9 to 16. So they need to have a grade in this certain skills. And I'm the fluffy one. I'm not anymore because I'm on disabled. I'm disabled. I'm on a sick leave and I don't know how long it will be. But anyway, so stuffists it will be. So that leads us straight into purchases and acquisitions. And first of all, a huge shout out to Jana from Finnish Knitting Story, because she had on her Patreon, so if you're not on her Patreon, on her Patreons yet, and you like her, what are you waiting on? We have so much fun over there. And I love Jana. My husband, every time I'm watching her podcast or other things on Patreon stuffs, my husband is telling me, you know, if I didn't know better, I think you and her could be sisters. In my world, that's a good thing though. But anyways, this is her big sock kit that we was able to choose the color that she gonna dye under a live coloring session on Patreon, and then she wanted us to come up with a good name for it. Yeah, and I came up with the name The Rooster Dance because it was right in the beginning of the mating season for the chickens. The chicken and the ducks is the first ones of the year. The ducks is even earlier, and the chicken, they start in the beginning of January. Even though it's super cold outside, it doesn't matter because the sun is starting to come back, the light is starting to come back, and that brings their mating instincts to life. So I named it The Rooster Dance, as I said. So I won. So I got this one. And I love it. And I don't know what I would do with it. The first thing I was thinking of was to actually do a shawl that I can use with my favorite hen out on the patio. But then I realized that maybe her claws, or she think if she poop on it, and it's so precious. So I don't want it to be ruined. So I need to figure out something else. Maybe I will actually do a pair of socks that I will just display so everyone can see her beautiful artwork. Because for me, every hand dyed yarn is pure art for me. That's why I'm so fast to support all the small indie dyer, even though I don't have a project in mind. So if I like them, I will support them. So this is the beautiful thing that I would do something with. As I don't know yet. Maybe a pair of fingerless gloves or mittens or something. I don't know yet. Or maybe a cowl with some pop of the pink. We shall see. And then when we are talking about purchase things from Indie Dyer, did you remember the last time when I was talking about Hex Cattle Dye, her fade kit that I purchased? This fade kit, and I didn't know what I would do with it. I still don't know, but I starting to might have a clue. She had also an Easter kit. This is the Easter kit. It's on the same base, her sock base. Maybe I will do a Garter Marler. Do it's called like that by Stephen West? Garter Marler. Maybe? Yeah, that you are using 2 strands of fingering weight to like marl together. A lot of fluffs over here. So I thought maybe to do that, but this light green will go in with this lightest of the white. So maybe that's an option. So this is my new purchase. This is the old one. It still is waiting for be something. So, and that pink is quite obvious, isn't it, with the darkest one? And that purple? No. That purple is quite obvious, isn't it, with the darkest one? And that pink will be here in the middle. Now I got it right. So, that's a plan I have. Maybe, maybe not. We shall see. And also, I couldn't just get the kit. I needed to have something else. And this is also from Hexcat Dye in her colorway called Rainbow One. But this is on her merino sock. And this do actually have a plan in mind. Do you remember my youngest daughter's so faded sweater that I made her with short sleeves? That's also in her merino sock base, but that was actually a fade kit, so I made it a fade. But she is loving that sweater so much, or tee as it is now because I made it short sleeves, and she is wearing it at least 3 or 4 days a week. It's a good layering piece. You can wear it underneath thicker sweater or something like that, and it's going to keep her warm. And also she can just wear that as it is. So I will make her another one. And I remember that it took me 75 grams of yarn to make that, and she is growing, and this is 100 gram, so I'm going to add all of this into the sweater. So I'm gonna do it longer so she can use it for a longer time, because I know when she's going to grow that one out, now it's fit her spot on. She's going to be so sad, because when she growed out her love note, she was so sad. So I will make her a new one in this color. So that's why it's caked up already. But I could not support just one of my favorite in the dye. I need to support the other one. So of course we have a little bit of limo design over here. I couldn't resist, and this is on her sock base, regular sock base. I love it. I use it to shawls, I use it to socks, I use it for hat, I use it for mitts, I'm using it for sweaters, for everything. It's a sturdy fingering weight yarn that are not scratchy. If you are sensitive, it's not going to go out of shape, even though it's a super wash. It's not gonna peel. No. Maybe a little bit peeling, but not much at all. I do still have socks that I have been using for over a year, more or less every single day, that not peeled. Maybe it's a little bit on the underside of the foot, but not much. Not much. You can probably not even see it if you don't are looking real close. So I couldn't resist. Look how beautiful it is. But the most thing was because of the name. In Swedish it is konsterfaren, avliden kanariefågel. Yeah, in English that means art experienced deceased canary bird. I couldn't resist. I couldn't. I think that I have purchased all of her yarn that are including something with birds in it, because I knew one that spoke to my heart, was speaking to my heart directly was her psychotic turkey. Oh my goodness, as a turkey owner that loves her turkeys very much, I couldn't resist. So that's all for my purchases and acquisition and work in progress and things. Now a little bit spinning update quite quick before we go to the live stuff. And if you don't want to listen to spinning and also don't want to listen to live stuff and farm update, I'm so glad that you stopped by it. And if you have not subscribed, please do so. And please leave me a comment. Yeah, spinning update. I was spinning for the sock spin along, the carry from my wool mittens podcast here on YouTube. Go straight over to her channel if you are not subscribed now, because she is one of my favorite person when it comes to some mixed up with farms and yarny goodness. So I highly recommend her, and also Nikki and also Jana, so Knitting with Cat here and Finnish Knitting Story. Go over and watch them if you have not. So anyway, off about that. And I made my single and I was up for playing it. And my spinning wheel have run in the family for very, very many years, a lot of years. So yeah, it's not a spinning wheel anymore. It's still a spinning wheel though, but it broke down, so I have no spinning wheels, and I got so sad because that was the spinning wheel I learned to spin on. That was the spinning wheels who have teach me everything about spinning, actually, if I should be honest. Not only by myself, but with also my grandma. So that one is broken, and I do not know if it's going to be able to repair this time. My dad has it in his workshop for now. He don't have the time to look at it right now, and we will see what's happening. So I am for a lookout for a new wheel anyways, because I know my old beautiful old lady is, it's not stable, I know, and she have not been for a while. But anyways, I will try to find something that I like. Right now it's leaning to Ysolda because of the storage space, and it's also leading to a ladybug. I don't know. Either way, if the old lady don't go to if my old lady is not going to be repaired, it's not possible to be repaired this time, I probably gonna buy the ladybug, because I like the treadling. I really do. So I need a spinning wheel, not just a little e-spinner. I love that small electric tools too, but it is something with just sitting down, treadle, and all of that stuff. So that's the thing for spinning. It's no spinning for now. So anyway, that's all about the spinning. Life update. Yeah, I have been gone from here almost 3 weeks now again. 2.5 weeks. Why? The first week was actually quite obvious, because the kids had their Easter break, spring break, so all of the kids was here at home. Week though, when the kids are going back, all of us came down with the flu, except my husband. He's always spared from these things. So first the two youngest one, but they snapped out of it really quick. They were down for 2 days at the same time, so those two was done within 2 days. And then the two oldest one, and you cannot do so much for them. You can bring them some drinks and that's all. Otherwise they are tending to this themselves. And then I was feeling quite crappy the 2 first days, and the 3rd day I was feeling quite fine, but then I lost my voice. I literally sound like a duck. So I thought it's not even going to be fun to make a podcast. So it is what it is. Otherwise, that's about life updates. Yeah. Some else things that I have on life updates. Yeah, the thing that I am doing that I cannot talk about, that I was talking about in the last podcast, it had nothing to do with knitting, working, any kind of that stuff, but it do actually have something to do with all of the progress around my shoulder and that surgery that went terrible bad. That's all the things I can say right now, but that is the thing that is going on right now. And I have been fighting for this day to come. So yeah, it is what it is. It's not this what it is, but I cannot say anything more. I'm not gonna cast on some names or stuff or what we are doing and all of that. But it will lead to a result in the end. Either way, so yeah. Yeah, as I said before, some of you already know what I'm talking about. And the thing is, if you are curious, you are more than welcome to come and drop me a DM at my Instagram, and I can explain in detail. Because it's not that type of secret. It's just that I need to be one step further and some other ones. So I cannot throw things out here. So that's a thing that's going on, and it's probably going to go on all spring, and maybe we are ending that stuff in the beginning of the summer, middle of the summer. We shall see. But farm-wise, it had arrived 6 new small chickens here at the farm. They are now 1 week old. They are living in my living room. That's why I am in the kitchen, because they are quite noisy. They do not have a mom. They are man-made hatched in an incubator, and they are not from my own chickens. They are bought as 1 day old little chicks, and they are from a breed that's called cream legworm. We do not have that breed over here since before. And also, so that's a whole new bloodline. It's a whole new group, and they are not going to go with other ones. They're gonna get an own coop and also an own chicken yards outside, because here in Sweden there is an endangered species, or not species, breed, so we don't have as much left of them. It's an English breed from the beginning, but we have had them here in Sweden for, I think in the middle of the 40s, 50s, something like that. But the funniest thing with this is that you see immediately when they are hatched if they are a rooster or a hen. So I have one rooster and he has 5 hens, and he is not related to his hens. So, and they lay blue eggs, really ice blue eggs, aqua coloring eggs. I will pop in a picture of their eggs over here so you can see what I'm talking about. And they are an egg breed, so they are laying around 250 eggs per year. So that's a fun thing. I do not have animals for meat production, so you know, eggs yes, but meat no. And I do not even have my animals for commercial egg production either. We are just selling the eggs that we cannot use by ourselves, so the leftovers, so we don't waste anything, because we are not that type of farmer that's potatoes, other seeds and stuff, and apples. That's our thing here. So they are super cute, they are super friendly, and it's going to be so much fun that I now can say that I have the whole palette of color range of the eggs, because I have cream colored ones, I do have slightly pink, I have dark chocolate, I have brown, I have greens, and now I have blues. The only one I am missing now is black, but I don't want them because the chicken breed that are laying black eggs, is quite aggressive, have I learned, and I don't care for aggressive animals, and I don't need a black egg, but I need a blue one. So this may be quite strange because I am the turkey owner over here. I'm the one who manage all the turkeys and the type of breeding around them, new bloodlines, new breeds, and all of that stuff, buying, selling, because that's also one thing that we do. We are selling good breeding animals to keep the bloodlines healthy and clean. And this is just a breeding program, this little group, to try to add up the numbers of this breed a little bit. So it's quite funny. That's why they are going to go for themselves. So it's not gonna be any inbred things. But anyways, it is chicken, it's not turkeys. And if you have been with me for a while, you probably know that I lost my whole new bloodline last year on the turkeys, because I bought new hens. No, I didn't bought them, I bought egg and hatched them. But the rooster ended up so damn aggressive, and they can be aggressive to each other when a certain age, when they're starting to become more mature and are going into the mating order and try to get their own spot to reproduce. But those 3 roosters, turkey rooster that I got last year, all of them became aggressive to all of the other animals, and also against all the people around them. And I do not have small turkeys. I have one of the biggest breeds you can have, So those roosters actually ended up in our freezers, of course, because I couldn't sell them and I don't want them, and they was actually quite dangerous for my little Alva, because she and the turkeys is almost the same size, even though the turkeys is weighing a lot more than what she do. And they are strong. They are strong when they are starting to fighting, so they can do really serious harm. I did have one turkey once that actually was hitting me with his wings. They are like punching with their wings badly on my underarm, so I actually did get a crack in my bone. So yeah, they are strong. So bad animals I don't want. So I don't have my bloodline because Sun got hurt. I think she actually did get hurt of one of the bad roosters that we have, but it was nothing visible. She didn't have any type of scratch or something that you can see that she had been hurt. And the vet come and checked her up, and they was more into that she maybe had fall or slipped or something like that, and it was just some sore muscles, and she's going to be better, but she didn't become better. So she was actually, yeah, it was hard to losing her because I loved her. I have my favorite rooster, his name is Stalle. So those two have been quite a big thing. They are like my pets. So yeah, but we was forced to put her down, and I buried her. And Alva used to go and bring some flower to her grave. So remember, they are my pets, though. It's not just a turkey for me. And so my only hope now is that Stalle is actually looking to Rosa's needs to breed her. That's not something that is clear that he's going to do, because he have been very picky. Often when you have domesticated turkeys, they are breeding all the ladies you have, but Stalle do not. He has very much wide behavior, so he is choosing one mate for the year, and he is breeding, and he's with them all the time. He's there when the chicken is hatching. He takes care about the chickens, and also is a very good dad. But he is actually a wild breed, so yeah, I like it. I do. That's also why we need to hatch them ourselves if we want them, because Rosa is a terrible mother. She is laying on her eggs for about 15-16 days, so they're starting to grow and they're starting to become something, but they need to be there for 30 to 32 days to make them actually hatch. And then she get bored and she left, leaving them. And I don't know if Stalle is going to take over. Maybe he won't, maybe he will not. We shall see, because I don't even know if the egg is going to be something if he don't want her. So we shall see what's happening. I will keep you updated about the turkeys, but I'm trying to again to do my new bloodline. Anyways, enough about that. It has been over an hour now that I have babbling with you, so now I'm gonna go and actually go out to my animals and see if they have water. Food they have, but water I need to. Now when the sun has come out and it's a lot warmer, I need to refill the water all the time. So anyways, now I'm gonna go and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.